Hi guys, good afternoon and welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host Eddie, and in today's video I will be discussing what I thought of the latest and very emotional episode of The Walking Dead, Dead City. This is the second to last episode of the season. The season finale is next Sunday and it looks like it's going to go out with a big bang, so I'm real excited about that. But let's talk about the most recent episode that just dropped. There's a lot to talk about and unload here, but before I get into all of that, of course, please be warned this is a spoiler-filled review. So if you're not caught up on Dead City by the latest episode, which is episode 7 of season 2, you don't want to keep watching or listening to this episode review, as I will be discussing spoilers, plot details, character stuff, and all that jazz. That being said, you have been warned. Let's dive right back into it. First and foremost, I enjoyed how both Negan and Maggie went on these very harrowing journeys parallel to one another. Negan getting medical supplies for Ginny, and Maggie trying to overcome her own sense of exhaustion and sleep deprivation while looking for her son, and trusting her fate to a man who is not exactly trustworthy, but he ended up coming through in the end multiple times. This might be the most likable the Croat has been since the series began. Like, he's always been so off-putting and creepy and manipulative and conniving, but in this case, he really had nothing to gain from Maggie not finding her son. And he was like, all he really wanted from Maggie was that he wanted her to be the one to finally kill him, because he didn't have the guts to do it himself. But Maggie refused, of course, lying about the safe house and everything like that. But this might be the episode where the Croat was the most likable and perhaps the most humanity we've ever seen from him. Like, he saved her life quite a few times throughout this episode, and he didn't let her fall both times. He went back for her when she fell behind a little bit, going through the maze of walker cubicles and whatnot. So it was interesting to see the Croat in a new light this way. And speaking of seeing characters, it was great seeing both Annie and Lucille again. Granted, they were both hallucinations, but, they got the both respective actresses to return to play their parts and whatnot. Great to see Hillary Morgan once again, so that was a real treat. And then the actress who played Annie, she's great too, so really awesome that we got to see both of them as well. Even though they were hallucinations, they're both very important people to Negan, and it felt like it was a part of his journey, not only his physical journey to get the medical supplies, but his emotional journey as well, like being able to not necessarily confront his demons, but confront his inner dialogue or his inner critic by saying, I'm sorry for what I did to you, I'm sorry I've let you down. Because he seemed to come out of the whole affair much more level-headed and clear-headed. It sounds like he's going to be fucking ruthless in the season finale, or for whenever Bruegel and his men attack. Because it sounds like Negan's ready to round up all of the Croats' remaining people and get them ready for all-out war, or at least a climactic battle for control of the methane gas. And of course, Maggie and Herschel will be caught in the mix because, surprise, surprise, the Dama is still alive. Who saw that coming? I was genuinely shocked when I saw her. She looked so creepy, too, with her big neck burn. She kind of looks like the nun, almost, from the Conjuring movies. With how tall and skinny she is. That's who she reminded me of. And I was genuinely shocked to see her, because I was like, son of a bitch, she survived the fire? Well, she must have crawled her way out and then escaped before, anybody realized that she had survived. Because I don't think Croat and Negan, neither one of them know she's still alive. They're under the impression that she's dead. And what the Dama plans to do now that she's got Herschel and Maggie in her grip, we'll have to watch next week's season finale to find out. Feels like a lot of things are going to come to a head in the season finale. Bruegel will probably make his move to capture or claim the methane operation. Negan and the Croats people will make their stand against that. Will New Babylon send reinforcements to the mainland? I don't know. And how will it affect Negan, Maggie, and Herschel, and the Dama, and the Croat, and all this mix? We'll have to find out in next week's season finale. But I thought this was a really good, really emotional episode that really made you feel for the characters, especially Negan, Maggie, and Croat, because that is exactly what this franchise does so well at. It's making you feel things for the characters, because we get these emotional, character-driven stories like this episode, and then you really feel and emphasize, sympathize with these characters, and that's what makes the show or the franchise so special, or what's always made it so special, is the show's ability for the audience to really connect with the characters in multiple different ways. So hats off to Dead City for another solid episode. I cannot wait to see the season finale next week. Are we getting a third season, or is something else in the works in the Walking Dead universe? Only time will tell, but in the meantime, we have the season 2 finale to look forward to of Dead City dropping next Sunday on AMC and AMC Plus. You don't want to miss it. It looks like it's going to be a big one. Have a great rest of your night, everyone. Thanks for watching, and of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.